Hi guys, and welcome to another video comparison. And today's video I have, as you can see, 1, 2 Teufel Rocksters, and there we have one JBL Xtreme 3. And then you might ask yourself, where's the what is this? Well, it's a 2v2, as you can see in the title of this video. And I'll just throw in an unboxing as well here, as you can see, so enjoy. Okay, so let's continue with the unboxing experience here. We begin, just open up that, take off this tape. Oh, this is much like lighter tape, or easier tape to remove than in my previous JBL Xtreme unboxing. Let's see here. Get the nice presentation here, JBL Xtreme 3. And we got this paper foam-ish thingy. And yeah, let's put that to the side. Of course, I will take with me all of this foam and whatnot. Don't let anything be out here in the wild. And here it is, the beast itself, JBL Xtreme 3. Another one to the collection. So that's nice touch. That's nice touch. Just gonna lay it there for a second. And there we are with speaker. What do you else get in the box, you might ask? Well, that's a pretty good question. Here, what is this? Here I forgot. Oh yeah, the regular manuals and whatnot. I'm not gonna unbox more of those, because I've already read them and whatnot. How do I get this up? Oh, I can't. Just take everything out here. Get a 60 watts charger. Really nice touch. Okay, cool. And then what more? If I get here, can I just take this up, please? Here. Oh, and here is the wrist strap itself. So that's all you get in the box, and nothing there is interesting except one thing, and that's the speaker. So let all this be trash, and then let's focus on the speaker. So I'll be right back once more. And this is an 80% test throughout this entire thing, so enjoy. that was it from the sound comparison, and I hope you enjoy that. Hopefully my editing skills are as good as my speaker buying skills. Hopefully, we'll see. So I think it was quite an interesting battle actually at 80% volume here, because the Xtremes has way more deep bass. You can certainly hear that, while the Teufels has more bass in general compared to the Xtreme 3. I think I enjoy the sound of the Teufel a bit more, because, you know, upper bass is upper bass outdoors, travels further, better for that, while the Xtreme 3 has more deep bass. But I think that actually the JBL Xtreme 3 as a pair performs way better than a single unit, just because you actually get a bit more bass in general, and that's enough bass to like actually feel it. I was standing, this camera right here is about 1.5–2 meters away from the speakers, while I was standing like 4 meters away, and I still felt some bass, and of course I like that experience, of course, but it's not a full-bodied bass with upper bass and whatnot. It's pretty like steep bass at 50 Hertz only, which is deep and nice bass. Something more to point out, yeah, I think the mids and the Xtreme 3 is a little bit lacking. I'd like some more or fuller mids. I don't know, it may be just me, but it might not be the mids, but it's just that the highs are like so sharp, and the sound doesn't sound natural to me, while the Teufel has of course pretty sharp highs as well, but they're more under control, and you get yeah, a better soundstage in general. And when we talk about soundstage, the Teufel sound way bigger when even though they're two versus two, the Teufel sound is bigger. You can, yeah, it's more of a concert feeling. Not really. I haven't been to a concert, so I can't really say anything about that. But a way bigger sound than the Xtreme 3. You can hear that they're smaller speakers. Yeah, that's about it. Now I will go over to the 100%. Ooh, spooky 100% comparison. And I will begin with the Teufel Rockster Cross, of course, because they're super good. So stay tuned for that. Okay, now the Teufel will begin, and I'm gonna play at 100% volume. Okay, so that was it for that song, and now I will do a last song off axis to see how the dispersion sounds. And I can just say now 100%. I stepped back a couple of meters as well to get a better perspective. I enjoyed, I think I enjoyed the Xtreme 3 a little bit more, and just the deep bass is starting to roll off now that I'm about 5-6 meters away, which is unfortunate, but still, I think if I lower the volume on the Xtreme 3 or the Teufels, I think I would enjoy them more. But right now at 100% at 5-6 meters away, they were actually too loud for me. But loudness wise, I would say that I give that to the Teufel, but it's hard to say. It's not the biggest of difference. It is noticeable, but it's not super big, as I think it has been comparing 1-to-1. I think the Xtreme 3 benefits more by having another partner than the Teufels does. But we'll see what happens now off axis.
Brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but you see where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for credit, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my brothers are humongous, you would think that happens in that. Damn that, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have them yelling from back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, this ain't on the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stats, yo. Woo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing. And I maintain, flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
Okay, then you gotta ask yourself, which setup is the best? When you were at like 80% and listening at like 1.5 meters away, I think the JBL Xtreme's bass are quite pleasant, especially now there's two with that nice separation and that much bigger soundstage in general. The highs, as I've said before, are a little bit not for everybody, but at 80% they're not as piercing as, let's say, 100%. The mids are a little bit resist, I feel like, and the because of the highs, I think the highs might be making the mids less present, and the bass needs to be fuller, but at 80%, 1.5 meters away, I don't really care about that, because you can actually hear so much nice rumbly bass. The Teufels didn't sound as nice at 80% volume, I gotta say. Of course, their mids and the highs were okay, but the mids, and it sounded a little bit mushy, but with that nice punchy bass, I can certainly feel, I can know why people might prefer their sound, and they were louder as well at 80%. Not much louder, but they were louder. So what happened when I stepped back to 6-7 meters? Yeah, the Teufels were louder, definitely louder, but I think the JBL still sounded nice, because there were some deep bass. Not much deep bass, but there were some deep bass. While the Teufel, they do their thing with the 100%. There's some compression, but they sound really, really nice. With the, even though some people might think it's too loud for them, which I actually think they might be too loud for 6-7 meters away. But they sounded good with the punchy bass. The mids were okay, and the highs, of course, not for everybody, but I think they are quite decent, especially compared to the Xtreme 3. I think the highs are comparable at for these guys, loudness wise, but not the mids, when the mids are a lot louder on the Teufel than on the Xtreme 3. Okay, so what happened when we got to the side? The JBL, because they have passive radiators at the side, you could hear some rumbly bass, but not that much. You could hear more, still way more bass in general from the Teufels, and their sound dispersion is better. The Teufels are lacking mids when you go to the side, but the highs are still decent, and the sound in general is better than for the two JBL Xtreme 3s. The JBL Xtreme 3s, now there are two of them. I think they performed way better than just one. The Teufels also perform better because they get a wider soundstage, but not as cool bass, as I said, not as cool bass, because they got deep bass, not that rumbly bass. Price-wise, they are very comparable. It depends what country you live in. If you live in the US, I think this is not the best video for you. Maybe you're interested still, but it's hard to get. I don't know if you can get them shipped over, the Teufels, that is. But if you're in Germany, I think this is a very good video. That's why many people from Germany is watching my videos, because this is a good comparison for them in their market. And price-wise, I think they're quite comparable, even in Germany. The Teufels might be a little bit more expensive in Germany, but let's say in other places in Europe, the Xtreme 3 might be a little bit, but they're mostly evenly priced. Maybe the Xtreme 3 or the Teufels are a little bit more expensive than the other. So that's really up to you. But then the JBL Xtreme also have the convenient factor. They have USB Type-C. They're fully waterproof, while the Teufel, they are not fully waterproof. They are IPX5, while the Xtreme 3 is IPX67. Of course, both have shoulder straps, but the shoulder straps does rattle around on the Teufels. When you're playing at louder volumes, you can hear the vibrations onto the shoulder straps. That's why I remove my shoulder straps when I'm playing at maximum volume. While the Xtreme 3 doesn't really matter if you have a shoulder strap or not. They sound as good as with or without. So that's another bonus. The Teufels also get scratched up a little bit easier than the Xtremes because of that nice fabric mesh. But I have noticed that the logo can get scratched up quite easily, but that's not the main focus, I guess. But the bodywork on the Teufels is more vulnerable to scratches, or prone to scratching or scratches or whatnot, than the Xtremes. But of course, I would still give the win to the Teufels, just because better sound in general, I think. Some might prefer the Xtremes at 80% because they got that deep, nice bass. But as I said, a little bit recessed mids. You can't really hear. You can hear the mids, but I think they're overshadowed by the large amount of deep bass at 80% and 1 meter away, and the sharp highs. And especially at 100%. If you just want loudness and bass, go for the Teufels. Indoors, we'll find out. And I think with the new update, the EQ update, I can make a video 1 versus 1. But I just want to clarify, I'm not using any EQ for the JBL Xtreme 3s, because you actually can't use an EQ while you're in party mode. So that's another thing to add. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was entertaining, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.